LDBC, this is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Boxing and MMA Show live. Alright folks, it's really time to get into some of this real talk with y'all, okay? It is, and that's just the way that is. You know folks, when the 218th black person have been killed this year, you know, unceremoniously, and when I say unceremoniously, I mean without justification, 217, you know, it got me thinking about, you know, why. And the real solution is, y'all, it's hatred. And guys, I'm telling y'all, I don't care who watching this video, okay? If you have hatred, if you have a lot of hatred in your blood, you're pretty much killing yourself. And you're gonna die prematurely. And scientists, they've already proved this, that when you have hatred in your blood, and when you have a hate, when you just have a love of the hate, when you love hate, you're setting yourself up for a premature death. I mean, the ducks will all be lined up. And I'm telling you right now, that's just the way that is. You see, it kind of got me thinking, man, it's a lot of hate stuff going on. Now you got a lot of college students doing this blackface, and, you know, it really is, you know, when you're dealing with kids, and I'm going to talk about this in form of a kid. One thing I like about dealing with kids, we may say kids get on our nerves, and kids want to make you want to choke them and smack them sometimes, but at the end of the day, you know what kids understand more so than adults? Kids understand truth. Now, what truth are you willing to give them? You see, kids, they really desire to know the truth. They desire. And see, I've told you guys about the gangbangers. I've told you about how, you know, I've gotten into some really tight situations with gangbangers. And I'm talking about going to crack houses and getting these guys. Hey, man, when you figure out what you built for, man, you figure out what you built, how you built. You figure that out when the pressure on. When somebody, they have a pistol to your head, you figure out real quick if you got the fortitude to do what you're doing. And I figured it out early on when I first started this mission, when I first started what I was doing, that I was built for this. And I had protection from above, because, man, I'm gonna tell you, some of them situations I was thinking, man, this is it. But I gotta do what I gotta do. And so, but there's another end of the spectrum that I've never talked about. And from time to time, over my 20-year history of doing what I do, I've got kids that have racial stereotypes. I've gotten those kind of kids. And when those kids come to me, those parents don't really understand what's going on. And when the parents that are teaching these kids these kind of things, they don't get it. They just think that they're bringing their kids to one of the best coaches in the world, which that's fine. But in hindsight, they don't really get that their kids are getting deprogrammed from whatever stereotypes they had. When they come to me, had these parents known in hindsight that they would get deprogrammed, they would have never brought them to me. And I'm just saying, because, you know, it's kind of hard to really change a parent. Like an adult, you can't do it, because adults already have their set in their ways. And so you're not going to talk to somebody set in their ways and think that they're going to just conform to what you think. It's just not going to happen, okay? It won't happen at all. But see, when you're dealing with a young mind, you don't have to, I don't say much. Matter of fact, we don't have to bring up the topic of race, but you can tell what kids come to you that they have their stereotypes. They already have it. And even by the way they come at you, you know that they have a stereotype. So those kind of kids, I'm very patient with. Because see, you know, what it is that, you know, I do a service and I get paid for it. You know, I do a service and I get paid for it. But see, what I notice on a person, I can notice the pain. I can notice the pain, and I can notice the hurt of a person. And, you know, I can notice it upon contact. And see, sometimes with kids, when you're dealing with them, sometimes the pain is so great that they can't hear truth. And see, that's when healing begins. You know, when they come to me, and I actually pick up on it initially that they have those stereotypes, that's when the healing begins. And see, kids, like I said, their brains are designed to take truth. They can't. But they get deprogrammed when they come to me. And I'm going to tell you something, man. I've had a few kids with these stereotypes. They come to me, and they don't have those stereotypes. And you know what ends up happening to these type kids? They fall out with their parents. When they get old enough to move out, they completely fall out with their parents. They go another different direction. They go off and have kids, and they don't even let the kids around these parents because they don't want their kids growing up with hatred. See, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. I set an example. I don't do a lot of talking. I just set an example. And when I set my example, when I completely set my example for them, okay, they begin to see the truth. They begin to see it. And see, then, and only then, when they start asking questions, that's when the education starts. You see, I don't even say a lot to them. All I do is ask them, hey, how your day been? This all the kids, hey, how was school today? How was this? How was that? And you know what? They start talking. They start talking. And then I start figuring out, well, my parents don't like this race of people because this, because that, because X, because Y, because Z. And then see, you start getting to the root of it. It's not really the kid. It's what they being taught. And so I don't even tell them what their parents teaching them. I don't tell them that stuff wrong. I just set the example. And I tell them, you need to look at things with your eyes. You need to see with your eyes. You need to see what your eyes tell you. Okay? You need to listen to what your ears tell you. And you need to keep your mouth shut. I said, that's what I tell them. And I said, I want you to you look at everything, you listen to everything, but you keep your mouth shut. And I told this one girl, I said, and I promise you, in 3 months, you'll see the truth. And she said, well, Coach, I don't get it. And I said, that's the problem. I said, keep your eyes open, your ears open, and keep your mouth shut. Because I always tell them, God gave you 2 ears and 2 eyes. I think He's trying to tell you something. He only gave you a mouth. See, God only gave you those things. So I think what you need to do is utilize those things more and utilize the one thing that you have less. And it's kind of funny, man. It's kind of funny because what happens is that these kids begin to see the ultimate truth. They begin to see the ultimate truth. And the ultimate truth is that hatred and racism is wrong. And that stuff kill you, man. The hatred and the racism, man, it kill you. The stereotypes, that stuff kill you. You see people that walk around with stereotypes, you know that these people are more prone to die first. They are. They're actually more prone to get diseases. They're more prone to be leaving Earth faster than any other people. People that hate people based on hate. But see, what these kids do is they begin to see, and then, you know what they begin to tell me? Well, my parents don't like a certain race of people because, and they start giving me the reasons. See, kids are not as dumb as we think. Children are not stupid, y'all. They want truth. They want the real truth. See, they don't want something. They don't want to hate. One thing I've learned about kids don't want to have a hatred, man. They talk that crap. See, good kids, they really, really want understanding. And they don't want hate, man. They want to actually be at peace with a lot of different things. And a few of the kids that have their racial stereotypes, they leave right back out. And when they leave me, they no longer have those stereotypes because they're allowed to see truth. But they're seeing the truth through me. Not because of what I'm telling them, it's because of what I'm doing. See, it's because of what I'm doing. Because I'm not the stereotype. I go in and I put that work in. I don't put up with no mess. You don't talk to me any kind of way. I don't put up with it. I go in, I put that work in, I deal with what I got to deal with, and I keep it honest. I don't start cooning and buck dancing. I don't do any of that stuff. I just do what I've been doing, and that's hard work. Okay? They see me working hard. They see me have the same expectations out of everybody. And they see me, no matter what the athletic level is of the athlete, I do not. Okay? I do not discriminate against somebody because of their athletic talent. It's not racial. I'm talking about, like, you have a lot of coaches, they'll deal with a person because they won't deal with them because they're not that good. I don't do that. Everybody. I put everybody through the fire. I make them work. And see, that's what they're seeing. They're seeing that I'm not discriminating against this person because of this. Nah. Everybody getting that work. Everybody getting chewed out. Everybody getting it. But I believe in everybody that stepped foot in. And see, then that's when the questions begin to go down. That's when they start to ask these questions. You see, my parents, they think about this, and they come to me with this. But what do you think? What you mean what I think? I'll tell you exactly what I think. And I tell them, look, hatred and racism, it kill you. It just kill you point blank. You're going to die. It's a matter of time, okay? It's a matter of time, and it'll come get you, and it'll be a point in life where, you just think to yourself, what was I doing? But I'll give you a story. One girl I used to train, and her mom, you can kind of pick up on it. If you've been living long enough, you can tell when somebody, has a stereotype or they're racist. You can tell. And, but I never said nothing. She would drop off. The parents never spoke 2 words to me. And then one day, the mom starts saying, you know what, she's doing all her chores and her homework's done. And, you know, she's just doing things that I'm not used to. Saying yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Because they got to call me yes, sir, no, sir. And I tell them, look, if I see you not calling your parents yes, sir, no, sir, then I can't work with you. See, I put that out there quick. And you know what? They meet that expectation. See, what I do is I give everybody something they can do. You can tell your parents yes, sir, no, sir. And I tell them, and they don't be wanting to, but they do it anyway. And then, and when I ask your parents, let me find out that you're not addressing them yes, sir, no, sir. I can't work with you. See, what I do is I pull them in and I make them a part of this, what I'm doing, because they want to be a part of it. They want it. And then the education begins. The deprogramming, it begins. It begins, and then these kids begin to do stuff. They begin to do their chores at home. They begin to talk to their parents with some sense. They begin to ask their parents, can they? Matter of fact, you know what they begin to do? They begin to change their whole friends. They change them all. They get them people out of there, man. And you know what? And I've noticed too that a lot of the kids that I deal with, they have the racial stereotypes. They're suicidal. And these parents are taking them, paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for psychiatrists that don't even work. These kids are cutting, putting slits on the side of their wrist because that demon is so deep within them of hatred that they don't even want to go through the day to day. They stop doing that. See, everything that they stop doing, and the parents are so overjoyed, but then that's when the hammer hits them. See, they stop doing all the negative stuff, and that involves having a racial stereotype. They stop having that too. And that's the thing that the parents can't deal with. They can't deal with that. And see, then these kids end up separating from their parents because they don't want to have that. They don't want to feel that kind of hate. And one girl, she told me, Coach, my mom went to the hospital. And this was, now she's an adult now. She said, well, could you come with me? And I'm going to tell you something, man. I went to this hospital and I saw this parent. And I was outside, I was just there to support my athlete, And then, when they go, we still talk. And she asked me to come in. And I never forget the look on this person's face. This parent came in and, she said, Coach, I never got a chance to thank you for what you did, for my daughter. Because had you not have been there, she would not be here because my daughter was trying, multiple times to, commit suicide. But because you stepped in and you just took her as she was, Coach, she's here with me. And I'm in the hospital. And I said, do you want to get out of the hospital and enjoy your grandkids? She said, yeah. Then I said, let's you and I just pray about hatred. That's all we did. I ain't say nothing. It was about a 25-second prayer. And I left. And, after I left, I get a phone call. I get a phone call from the same athlete I used to train. And she said, Coach, my mom leaving the hospital. And they don't know what was wrong with her, but she feel fine. And, she's meeting her grandkids for the first time. And you know what? Those kind of things, I understand why I do what I got to do. You see, you don't even know. But I'm telling you, if we're going to change the problems in America, we got to start with the youth. We got to start because, see, the generation we have now, you can't change them because they're corrupt. You'll have some adults that'll want to change and that'll want to do the right thing. But kids, they deep down really, truly want to do the right thing. But we as adults, man, we got to start getting in there, and we can't be afraid. We can't be afraid to educate. We just can't. And we got to train kids to stop hating, and we got to train our kids to stand up to it. That's what we got to do. Folks, it's right here for you. It's right here for you. These senseless killings, we got to stop trying to justify them because they're unjustifiable. These people are killed. They're killed, okay, for no reason. These people, in most cases, are killed for no reason. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison, guys. I'm done, and I'm done.